Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Neil from Tinkle. Good afternoon. Alicia Souza. Alicia. Okay. I haven't prepared anything for this. There's a little PPT that I've kind of stolen from various places that I do things. So I'm going to do what I do every month, which is not work too hard and call up the following people who I kind of hide behind every month. And these are the real stars behind Tinkle Digest. Okay, first up, Savio Mascarenhas, art director, artist for Shikari Shambhu and myriad stuff that we do. Anupam Arunachalam, writer and general ideas man. Rohan Chakravarti, new on the Tinkle stage. He is doing something called green humor. It's fantastic. I'll give you guys a glimpse in a bit. Abhijit Kini, who is Defective Detectives, Butterfingers, who's kind of savior. And Alicia Souza, if she decides to show up. Okay, so when I took over as editor, my one-point brief was let's challenge the reader and let's do really exciting work. Is really challenge the kids and really put cutting-edge comics for Tinkle. And I'm going to quickly run through some slides to show you what kind of work we've been doing over the last year and a half. Okay, so those are our newer covers. Can everyone see or is Abhi too tall? Alicia. Hello. Thank you for almost ditching us. Okay. Still too close. Cool. So these are all the covers that we've had since I've taken on. And if Savio wants to quickly talk about some of these covers that we've brought.
Yeah, these are the best of the covers that we have selected. If you see, the first one is about Avinash Tomi. He's a guy who circumnavigated the world. So we had to put him up on the cover. In fact, we were covering his entire tour. So the entire tour that he did around the world was covered in Tinkle and Tinkle Digest. So finally he landed up on the cover when he reached Bombay. The second one is the latest Tinkle Digest which you'll find on the stores. And it features a story which is a new series we are starting in the Tinkle Digest.
It's called Anupam, actually. I don't think Anupam's seen this cover himself. It's a story by Anupam, it's called The Bot Father.
So that's Anupam's story. And we have our characters, Supandi and Shambhu in there. The next one is the 250th cover of the Tinkle Digest. Tinkle has already finished 256 and we were celebrating the 250th issue with that cover. The next one down there is the Tinkle Digest July cover, last July. We were celebrating the monsoon. So if you see our covers have an essence of the month. You know, we look at covers which celebrate the month as such. The next one is an Alicia cover. That's again a summer vacation cover. And it was total fun. You know, when we tell Alicia to make a cover, we just leave it up to her. We just have to tell her that it's a fun cover, it's a summer cover, and she delivers. And the next one is again a character which we have started in Tinkle. It's the Mongol barbarians. So if you want to catch up on the adventures of these guys, that's the thing that you need to buy.
That cover got nominated for Best Cover at Comic-Con, at the Comic-Con Awards this year. Sadly didn't win, but that's alright. Okay, next. Alright, can you guys see that? Can you see it? Okay, alright. I'd just like to touch upon slightly interesting work that we've done of late. So that, which I can't see, is a poem that we illustrated. It's by this guy called Shunondo, who's a spectacular artist, does a bunch of work for Mankare as well. Written by Shriya Ghate, she's sitting right there and refuses to come on stage. And it's really rare for a children's comic book in India to do an illustrated poem, but we did, which is really exciting. Animal stories, but not quite the way you know it in Tinkle. There's an alcoholic frog in that one who drinks dirty water. There is a lone wolf, but not quite, which is also sorry. There are superheroes and villains. There's some guy who looks a bit like Hrithik Roshan apparently, and is part of the story. So yeah, really interesting, exciting stories that we carry every month. Sam?
So what has happened over the years when Tinkle started in 1980, the art form and the storytelling has changed a lot. So if you see here, it's a showcase of different art and storytelling. Like the first is a poetry we never carried, and animal stories with a twist. And we have international artists now working for us. For example, this Hrithik Roshan lookalike is he's an artist who's based in Chile. His name is Diego Jordan. So we have a lot of international art coming into the magazine now. So yeah, that's where Tinkle Digest is going.
And just because earlier, just 5 minutes ago, he asked me not to ask a pointed question. Anupam, so what kind of things do you actually ideate about when you're thinking about stories for Tinkle Digest? Because you've done quite a few and I've loved them all. And actually not had a problem with any of them. We've not had any back and forth over there. So yeah, what?
I think there's a lot of scope. I think since we have a very big tradition. I mean, Tinkle itself has a very long tradition of stories for children. And I try to, adapt and not exactly break out of it. I try to keep to the tradition, but do new things that people might not have seen in Tinkle. I think the main challenge is that the story has to be concise and has to have a punch at the end, which is not always easy to do. But those are the main things that I focus on. And since it's for children, it has to be exciting and it has to involve adventure and just something that I try to write the stories that I would have really liked as a child. Like some things that I really loved when I was growing up was Cartoon Network had this thing called Power Zone where they had the Centurions, they had the SWAT Cats, and they had some really cool shows for kids which we don't see anymore. Everything is watered down and like I'm not too big a fan of Pokemon and Shin-Chan and stuff like that. So yeah, so I try to go back and see what they were doing to make those really great cartoons.
Next slide, and Sar can go take over. Yeah, so this is the art. Savio, who's much better equipped to talk about the new kind of art that we have.
So again, that's a different art form altogether. If you see at the extreme left, again that's an adventure story. Here again is a very manga style art that we have over here. So most of this art is digitally done. But the treatment that we give is not usually the flat color comic look to it. It's got a very watercolor finish to most of this. And yet, we have the favorites like Supandi, we have Shambhu, and we have Abhijit Kini. So Abhijit Kini is like, I'll tell you an incident. I guess I met Abhi when he was around 15 or 16, and he had come to our office to show some of his art. And if we didn't take him then, we took him years later. He's joined he started working with us as a freelancer in 2004. And since then, Abhi has been like an integral part of our team. So we have gone a long way with Abhi's work, and we have got new talents now. So it's like a mix. Like we have Archana who does Supandi, and then we have a lot of like Prachi who does Tantri. And like a lot of new artists are coming. Rohan is new, Alicia is new, and Anupam is new. So the team is growing, and so we have a mix of the old and the new in Tinkle.
That's some more of the new stuff. I'm just going to skip it over because there's not much to really talk about. You can see it for yourself. It's really different from the Tinkle that you might remember. And we're really trying to bring a new generation of readers in as much as possible while keeping people who've read Tinkle all their lives, like I used to be, as faithful as ever. Next slide. Okay, this is Alicia and Rohan's section. Next slide. Alright, that's Alicia, who does these. So Alicia is generally someone I go to whenever I don't have ideas for covers. And she sends this every month without fail, without me asking for it or anything. It just lands up in my inbox. So Alicia, why did you start Factually?
Okay, so when you came to me, you told me I could do anything actually. And yeah, open brief. And I think one of the things I liked in comics and in little books that I used to read as a kid were the facts. And so I thought, facts? And there wasn't any, I think, at the time.
At the time?
Yeah, I was super happy when you said yes.
In fact, this has been the best way of educating a child. When we put facts with visuals like this, it makes it all the more interesting. So that's one approach of teaching kids, which worked out very well for us.
And forever the tagline for Tinkle has been where learning means fun. As much as I hate that tagline, it's there. So that's learning means fun. That's what Alicia and Rohan do. Next slide. This is Rohan's work. I think this is the third one you've done. This one. No, you've done now almost 5 months. Rohan was found by Shriya at an environmental awards function where he just won something. Rohan, you want to talk about Renew a bit?
It's actually a very simple narrative on environment, and its purpose is to acquaint the child with interesting animal facts. And yes, there's no. I don't think there's a better medium to reach out to school children than Tinkle. So the perfect platform. And it's been a joy. I've been new. I'm very new. I'm just about 5 months old in Tinkle, but yeah, it's been a joy.
Lovely. Alright, just some of the fun stuff that we've done in this non-fiction section. We've got this adventure column monthly. We've got this sports column monthly. Shriya, when she joined, said that I only produce for boys. So she insisted on something for girls, and we got this Dame Doherty, who's this fictional 80-year-old character who talks about dolls from across the world and does fun things like this, which is a paper doll making section that you can actually cut up, and we usually put something like an advertisement at the back and let kids cut that page up as much as they want. Alright, so that's us. As I wanted to show, I really don't do much, it's these guys. and it's really lovely working with them, and that's what I wanted to share with you. So thank you very much, and good
Thank
afternoon.
you.